Hey guys, welcome to Ron's Basement. Thank you for joining me and apparently Pippi. Today you bring up some great points. I have learned so much from you over the last year, from the comments, from questions that you've given me. And we're going to address some crazy interesting things you've brought up recently. We need to address that. But first, there's a nuclear news story this week that will impact the price of gold, the price of silver, the price of all the precious metals, and the mining stocks. We're going to talk about that. And at the end of the video, I'll share with you what I think the end result will be. Will gold go up or will gold go down? Let's get started right now. You guys do bring up some great points, but first, Pippi wants to tell you about the big nuclear news story of the week, which is the inflation numbers. Hey, look, on Thursday, we're going to hear the new CPI numbers. I guess they'll be from December, correct? Let me tell you what's expected, and let me tell you how that will impact the price of silver and gold. Because, and I quote, Thursday morning, that's this Thursday, will bring December's Consumer Price Index, a release likely to dictate bets on whether the Federal Reserve and Jerome Powell will raise rates by 0.25% or 0.5% at the start of next month. That would be February. Economists expect the headline CPI rose 6.6%. That sounds a little bit like 666 to me over the prior year in December. So it rose by 6.6% is what they expect. Downshift from the 7.1% increase seen in November, according to data from Bloomberg. On a month-over-month basis, CPI likely stayed flat. Look, I'm going to go out on a limb. I think the CPI numbers are going to surprise to the downside. And the other thing we need to remember about these numbers is now the year-over-year comparisons are going to be easier to look good because a year ago, inflation was starting to run very hot. Don't forget, at the end of the video, I'm going to predict for you what I think will happen to the price of gold and silver on Thursday and Friday after these numbers come out. Next, we're going to talk about your keen comments and questions. We've got some cool stuff to talk about. But look, at the end of the week, we're going to have like a little bomb go off when these CPI numbers come out. Much like when I come down to the basement and Pippi's down here and my desk and office looks like a bomb go off. And I just want to tell you right now, I don't bring her down here. She wants to be on these videos. This in no way is a form of me exploiting an animal for my own benefit. Now, the first cool comment you guys have given me, like where I learned something like, aha, I didn't think about that. Like there's still a few light bulbs up here that haven't lit up, and one of you lit one up when you brought up the point that last year the S&P 500 was down 20%. Let's take an easy example. You started the year with $100,000 in the S&P 500. By the end of 2022, you had $80,000. But you actually had less because that $80,000 at the end of the year, it was deteriorated, diluted, whatever you want to say, by inflation. Inflation, let's say, was 10%. So you actually lost another 10%. People that were just in the S&P 500, which is traditionally, a safe place to have your money, they didn't just lose 20%, they lost 30%, and that's significant. You guys are great. Keep leaving these comments in the comment section below. I'm telling you, that's how we can learn from each other. What about the recent comment I got about $6 for a dozen eggs? And just thinking about like a dozen eggs are $6 and an ounce of silver is $24. And then you compare lettuce, heads of lettuce going for $5. I mean, is an ounce of silver worth 5 heads of lettuce? Now look, lettuce is valuable, it's food. Eggs are valuable, it's food. But those things are both can kind of easily be replicated, easily reproduced. I don't think that 5 heads of lettuce equates the amount of energy and scarcity represented by 1 ounce of silver. And this is not a political channel, but you brought up some hilarious things when we talked about a very serious subject, last week's unemployment numbers. That was the big story last week, right? You brought up the fact that under the Biden administration, we've had almost 6 million illegal immigrants enter the country. How do they factor into these unemployment numbers? Are they instantly considered employed when they get here? And then you brought up the fact that maybe Joe's economic miracle that he's pulling off, maybe all the great employment numbers are because he did things like hired 87,000 IRS agents. I got to give you credit. You guys have some funny but also keen insights. And I apparently really made some people sad and angry when I refer to Bitcoin as unicorn fart dust. And you know what? I understand your point. There's actually a few things about Bitcoin that I want to mention. Number one, there are some very smart people that follow and love Bitcoin. Number two, it is a little different than the rest of the other 22,000 cryptocurrencies that are out there. And number three, the reason I get a little like to razz the Bitcoin people is, you know what? You razzed the gold and silver people over the years. And I know there's some people that love both, and that's great as well. But nonetheless, I'll still refer to Bitcoin as unicorn fart dust, although I will recognize it's more of the unicorn than the dust. We'll call Bitcoin the unicorn, and I'll call the fart dust the other 22,000 cryptocurrencies. And I don't want to be a complete Debbie Downer on you, but we got to look at both sides of the equation. Some of you have brought up the point that gold and silver are now due for a bit of a pullback and a correction. Yes, that's definitely a possibility. That's always a possibility with any investment, anything that's traded. But you know the big long-term thesis on gold and silver. And along those same lines, one of you brought up the point that everybody so expects gold and silver to skyrocket when the Fed pivots, that it's not guaranteed that that'll happen. That's also a valid point. But I want to bring up this. Have you considered, and we've said this many times, right? Gold and silver look out into the future, look out into the future. Leading up to the Fed pivot, that's maybe when gold and silver will achieve the majority of its gains, right? It may very well be a sell the news type event. We don't care. Hey, sooner the better, right? We'll take it. And did you make this next comment? Again, on the subject of crypto, you said, hey, the crypto owners are going to be left holding their phone, whereas silver and gold holders can hold their physical silver and gold. It's something real, something tangible. I think this was said in regards to like apocalyptic? You know what I'm trying to say. Events that might occur, right? If there's power outages, or if maybe one of the main crypto exchanges goes bankrupt. Whoa, well, now that happened now, didn't it? One more of your comments to talk about, then I'll give you my prediction for gold and silver later this week after this big nuclear news story on Thursday, the CPI numbers. The final comment you guys brought up was in regards to my talking about the price of gold and silver skyrocketing. And what this person said was, you don't want the price to skyrocket, you want it to plummet because that means you can buy more. And you know what? It's like a 50-50 valid point there. Yes, especially if a person is in heavy accumulation mode and we're not ever really planning on selling our silver, selling our gold. You've got a real valid point. You know, yeah, if silver goes to $4 an ounce, sure, load the boat. But hey, I'm in the situation, and maybe you are too, but we're all different. Maybe we've already spent most of our dry powder. And if you're invested in mining stocks like me, you really do hope that the price goes up from here. Either way, we'll be okay because gold and silver, well, you know the story. They've been valuable for 5,000 years. Now, at the end of the week, again, for the 18th time, we're going to hear the CPI numbers. I think we've got a positive surprise in place. I think the CPI inflation numbers are going to come in a little lower than expected, and I do think that will not necessarily make the price of gold and silver shoot to the moon, okay? I'm not going to say that, but I think we're going to remain in a very supportive environment for gold and silver for that matter. I'll go out on a limb. I'll say 19.17 on Friday for an ounce of gold. Silver, we're going to put that around 25.45. Believe me, I'm always wrong. I'm often right as well. So don't make any financial decisions based upon what I'm saying, just sharing my opinion. Appreciate you being here. I appreciate your comments in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.